What's up guys, welcome back to another video. A lot of you are actually asking me so many questions about 7.0, so I've actually decided to make a quick video about it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be talking about what you can do before 7.0 for PvP and PvE, and also what you will be doing afterwards, after the update is live and everything. So let's get started, I guess. Yeah, let's start with PvP. Okay, so PvP, most of you are actually asking me, Philo, what's going on with those tier one, tier two, and all that, and they are like worried that what they've done so far, what they have quested on with the gear and everything they have, that how it will play out basically later on, and if they wasted their time, if they have to do everything all over again. Um, Calm down, guys. No, you don't have to do everything again. It's actually quite simple. What they've actually done is if you have the current PvP gear, which is the garnison gear, the gear you get from using those Genesis crystals. First of all, they've actually moved the NPCs for the Genesis crystals. They aren't here anymore. Now they're in the room inside on the right side, basically. So that's where they're standing, the Genesis NPCs and also this guy. So if you have full PvP Genesis gear plus 15, you can come to this NPC and you can trade it to the latest tier 2 PvP gear, which is that one, which is the one I am basically using, that one for example. Okay, so that's actually quite simple and you can just easily do it, and the only thing you need for that is Abyss points en masse. So that's already one thing you might need. I would recommend to go for. So just try to get or save up as much Abyss points as possible. I know it's only nearly 2 weeks left, so there's not much time. Because the thing is that for the Abyss, for the gear to exchange, you roughly need about 25 to 30 mil a piece. So you need a lot of Abyss points basically. But right now, as you can do the mean mine, I would recommend to do that. Do the free entries, and if you have enough Luna to do even like twice a day, just run that to just get the extra Abyss points. So you need as much Abyss points as possible, so that's something you can do beforehand. You need fragments, you need a lot of fragments. So my advice or my suggestion would be, right now there are a lot of people trying to get ready for the painter, and they're crafting like different sort of PvP gear or PvE gear for their painter accessories mainly. So there is already another possibility. Just go to the broker and buy the cheap items of the broker, destroy them and get those fragments and also those slot stones, which you will use for the whole gear in 7.0. So that's also another plus point. The ultimate idiom, you can't do anything for that right now, so you would need to wait when the update hits. But don't worry, stay tuned. I'm going to be explaining to you later on how you can get the idiom. So this is basically everything you can do right now for PvP. Another question I'm receiving a lot of time is actually, what will happen if you don't have plus 15 ultimate? What if you have legendary plus 10? So let's say you have plus 6 or plus 10 legendary. How can you turn that into something positive for you? Simple. What you can do is you can use the same NPC. First of all, you have to plus that one to plus 15, the legendary PvP Genesis gear, the current one you have, and then you can upgrade it to the new legendary, but it will be plus 0, so keep that in mind. And then you can use that one to plus it to 15 to get that one to the latest tier 2 gear. So this is also another possibility. If you are a new player and you just don't have PvP gear at all, or if you're right now someone who just doesn't have PvP gear, rather than trying to change it, or if you have like some golden gear bits, I would just recommend you to destroy them, go to the NPC, get the Genesis crystals first, obviously, go to those NPCs, buy the latest gear and plus it to plus 15, upgrade it to legendary, plus it to plus 15, and then again upgrade it to ultimate and plus it again to plus 15. And then you would again have the strongest gear in game. Again, if you have Genesis crystals, I mean, you still have nearly like 2 weeks. If you haven't done those quests, try to do the Gardenizens quests, and also try to do the kill quests, and also do the weekly quests, which will be available from this guy later on. Let me actually show you those quests. They're actually weeklies. You're able to do those quests and you can get them ready from here, and I mean, you can use them and just do them and you will be getting more Genesis crystals. And that's basically everything you can do before 7.0 hits to get yourself ready for the PvP side. For the PvE sides, the story is a little bit different. For the PvE, what they have done, they have actually changed a lot on this map. They've removed a few dungeons. The Mirage is not there anymore. Garden is not there anymore. Now you can see from this location over here, you can see Narakali, Holy Tower. Holy Tower is a 3-man dungeon now. You can also do it 2-man. You can easily do it solo as well, depending on your DPS and your movement. Same thing goes with Narakali. Narakali is a solo man dungeon. You can easily do it with your current, even if you have current legendary, shouldn't be an issue to do that. Yeah, so if you are some new character, or even if you are an old character, try to visit this NPC Rezeal at the beginning. I can't tell you for sure, for 100% this will happen, but this character might will have a full legendary gear for you, depending on if GameForge decides to implement that quest or not. There is nothing you need to do for that. You just go to her and she'll give you a box with full legendary gear to just basically help you a little bit out for the whole zone. Now the question I'm getting a lot for PvE wise is, what about the gear? Can I use my current gear, or do I need to get the new? The answer to that is solo. The easy dungeons, like all those dungeons on Luck Room, are actually quite simple to do. So even if you have current legendary, and if you have current ultimate gear, you shouldn't have much issue doing those dungeons. Just keep in mind that if I hover over those dungeons, you can see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-man dungeons, which basically means that if you have if your gear is not that good, you might just need more people to do the dungeon, but you won't fail on it. Like, it would be I just don't believe that you will fail on it, because all those dungeons are easy mode now, and they're actually quite simple to do, and you can do that with your current legendary. It will be tough with the current legendary, but current ultimate is definitely doable without any issues, and those dungeons actually drop quite good, the new ultimate gear and the new legendary gear, so you will definitely will be fine by getting the tier 1 gear, and you can use that one for basically the new dungeon for that one, which is the Stellar Research Development Center. But for that one, there's also hard mode and easy mode. With the easy mode, can you do the easy mode with your current ultimate? Technically yes, but keep in mind that you will be getting huge damage in the dungeon, and movement is really important, so I wouldn't recommend it, but the possibility is there. If you have good players, if you have a full group of 6 men, technically it is possible to even use your current gear, and you don't really need to change to tier 1 if you want to save some money, but that's up to you. What I would recommend you to do is open the item guide compare your items PvE with your new items, and depending on whatever is better, put it in and use it. But definitely try to go for ultimate, legendary, and the gold items are not that good compared to the new one, obviously. Okay, so that's for PvE. That was whatever everything you can do to get ready for 7.0. Now the question is, now let's say 7.0 is alive, everyone is happy, some of you are even crying because it's just so great and the world is perfect again. Now you log in, what can you do, or what is exactly you should do? So first of all, keep in mind that whatever you do, even if you're PvP player or you are PvE player, go to those NPCs over here and buy those items. Do I have them, or did I open them already? I think I've used them already. If you buy those items, even if you don't need them, if you are someone who is like, okay, well, I've got all my skills, why would I buy that? I'm getting doubles and I'm getting the same crap again. That's good. And if you are even someone who is like, I don't want to waste right now all my energy or my Genesis crystals or whatever, don't worry, it's totally fine. Either way, you need to come here and you need to buy 6 of those. It will be helpful in 7.2. So what I'm doing right now, I'm not crafting the box anymore. The Divanian skill box, because the Divanian skill box is, I can't stack that one. In my inventory, it just takes space, and since I can stack those ones right now, what I'm doing is I'm just collecting those for 7.0 or whatever, because it will 7.2, sorry, because it will be later on really beneficial and helpful if you plus your Divanian skills. To be honest, that Divanian skills plussing is actually extremely OP. So if you have not started it, I would strongly recommend you to try to make it at least to +5 and 6, those skills, for now, and see however the patch is coming along, and then consider trying to go even higher than that. Okay. The second thing you need to do is, if you are a PvP player, obviously depending on whatever gear you have, you should come to this guy in here, try to upgrade whatever gear you have, try to do whatever what you can update, and just check what else you're missing, and try to complete all the garnisons in here, and then move to Duma. So for Duma, which I'm going right now, is probably, so now this I'm probably gonna be combining PvP with PvE, because the whole thing is a bit connected to each other. So after you reach Duma, you will have a possibility to start a campaign. That's up to you. I usually like to do the campaign later on, like a few days later or something. Just I like to take my time and just do it like easy, probably at night on my own. So if you are like me, obviously just ignore the campaign. If you're not like me and you just want to be effective and helpful, depending on the altars, if you have already the altars, or if the raid for the altars is starting, I can strongly, like extremely strongly suggest you press Shift G, check the legions, go to members, and check the legions with the most members, and try to find out if those legions are active or not. The reason for that is because those altars are actually extremely helpful for you, and I'm gonna explain to you why they're so important. So if you are in like a 2-man or 3-man legion, or like a small 6-man legion or whatever, it doesn't mean that you need to quit Aion, or it doesn't mean that you can't get progress. It just means that you will be 5 times slower than someone who is in a huge or big legion. Sorry. And I know for a fact that lots of servers, I mean even the one here in Korea, if you check MVP, that one is also a legion who was just basically built for the altars, and you won't be as effective as they are. So why? The answer is because if you do those altars, you can obtain stellium coins, and those coins you will be getting on each fortress raid. Those will actually happen twice a day, and all the 11 fortresses, altar fortresses, will be attackable at the same time. And the stellar coins are actually, you can update depending on how much DPS you do as your own class. You don't need to be in a group, you don't need to be in an alliance. Just try your best to go there. Try to destroy the gates, try to kill the NPCs, and if you have the opposite faction running around, try to kill them and obtain as much as abyss points as possible, because depending on those criteria you will be getting the reward. The only reward you can get is stellar coin, and the stellar coins are actually important. As I said earlier on, you can get up to 30. If you go to number 9, number 10, number 11, you can get up to 30. If you go to other ones, you can get like 20, 25 or something, so you will be getting a bit less, but it will be much easier to do the DPS. Okay, so now the question is, what exactly can you do with the stellar coins? So the stellar coins are actually, one thing is you can use them as a buff. So you need to put them into your skill bar, because if I click on it, as you can see, I got a buff, and this buff actually gives me 150 PvP attack and I didn't think also defense, or is it just attack? A dead PvP attack by 150 points for 10 minutes. Okay, so it's only attack. So this is one important thing. The second thing is that, let me actually teleport for that back to the huge fortress in Duma. Okay. Hahaha. I know I could just forward that or cut it out, but I'm gonna annoy you, so. Okay, so the next thing is that crafting is really important, because if you open this item guideline in 7.0, you will in PvE, now it's for PvE, you will notice that for PvE the strongest weapon is actually a crafted weapon, which is this one. Don't mind that one, this is actually for 7.2, so I'm gonna prove that to you. Well, it can't click on it because, you know, right now I can't even see the entry for the dungeon. It's a new dungeon, mention mana or something, that's how it's called, and the weapon will be dropped for that one. But again, as I said earlier on, I'm playing on the English client, so I can explain you, or you can see whatever I'm doing, and yeah, that's the reason why this weapon is here, because I'm already in 7.2. But for 7.0, that's how it's going to look like. The strongest weapon will be the crafted weapon, and the crafted weapon you can obtain for PvE, just for PvE, yeah. You can obtain obviously through crafting. Also, this weapon is important for a lot of melee classes of you, because this weapon is actually the extend weapon. There are a few ways how to obtain that one. It actually shows, you know, where the boss spawns, as you can see when I click on it. You also have the undermost boss. There are a few ways how to, you know, how that works, but I'm gonna get to that. Now let me continue with the stellar coins. So why are the stellar coins important? We actually need to go to this NPC over here. So as I just showed you the crafting weapon, is it this one? Oh, I think it's this one, yeah. So as I just showed you the crafting weapon, you will notice that for the crafting weapon you obviously need materials to craft it, to be able to craft it. So you can see you need the item titania. Titania is actually a gatherable item you can gather around the new location, which is here, sorry, which is this one. uh, Now this one, and you can gather that one around the whole map. But to gather that item, you actually need titania collector, those hammers, and one hammer actually cost one stellar coin. So that's one reason why you need to be at the altars, why do you need to do the quests. And also you can have, you got here more, you know, you got like jelly, and you got stellar food and stellar potions and all that, and you also have the mana stone recipes in here you can get with stellar coins. So those are already so many useful things why it's so important to do all those altars. Now the second thing is, how else, if you are busy and if you can't do the altars all the time, but you need a huge amount of stellar coins, how else can you obtain stellar coins? There will be weeklies and dailies. So the weeklies and dailies and all that can be obtained or taken by the NPC over here. Let me actually go to the NPC quickly. It's actually depending on your race. If you are a Asmodean, you enter this here and go left. If you're Elios, you go right. So by entering it, this guy actually has the quest for Stella. But you can also, if you are in the same faction as, you know, like for me, for Elios, I can just go to the different locations over here. There are actually stellar quests everywhere. Also like that one, as you can see, daily quests on every single on, you know, certain ones. I can just go there, I can take the quest, and I can start doing the quest. So this is for the whole fraction. This is not Legion bound. But for the Legion, as I was saying earlier, why it's so important to be in the same Legion, you can see I also have those quests, and for that one I'm actually getting 18 another stellar coins, and for that one I'm getting another 18. And those quests can only be taken if you are in the Legion, whoever you know, took the altars over here. And also now to the second point, why it's so important to be in the same Legion. It's actually after your Legion takes an altar from here, what you need to do is you can come to Duma, to the main fortress, and in that location there will spawn NPC, and those NPCs can be used to teleport to the altar your Legion took. And those NPCs can actually only be visited and, you know, if you are in the same Legion. um, so, and you will see on the other side, you will see there will be always 3 different NPCs, or there can be, let's say. So there will be this NPC, and this NPC can be visited by anyone from your faction. You don't need to be in the Legion, but the you know, the bad thing is that he's basically selling the same thing the other guys are selling. But the only thing is that with this one you can also get Stellar legend, which is like stellar paper. You need 16 stellar coins. You can also get the legendary itium and the ultimate itium, as I was explaining to you earlier on. I was showing you the PvP gear. You know how to do that, and you can get that here also by using stellar coins. But you can, if you like, you know, 5 short or 6 short or whatever, and you have enough stellar coins, there is a possibility to just come here and do that, you know, get that, and you will be able to you know, get those. Also the quests I was just showing about, the 18, since I am in the same Legion, I am able to take the quest and I'm able to get more stellar coins. And now the issue is with this paper, and we'll explain to you in a minute why this paper is so important. I am only able to buy 5, as you can read on the thing, limited to 5. And if I'm not in the Legion, I can only buy 5. but there is a possibility that there will be more NPCs standing here which are not there right now. One of them will be selling this box. So this box is actually an addition entry for the Stella development, easy or hard mode. There is also a possibility for another NPC which will be selling 3 more of the Stella paper, but the things I'm telling you right now about are only for the Legion, okay? And then also there's a third NPC which can appear randomly into the altars. They will be selling the ultimate Stella paper. So now the question is, what can you do with all this Stella paper? Let me show you. I'm glad you're asking me. So the Stella paper is actually needed to upgrade your enchantment stones. So as I was just saying, that if you are not in the Legion, you are able to buy only 5 Stella paper, and Stella paper is needed to upgrade your legendary PvP or PvE. That's up to you totally. And the ultimate is, you can only buy the ultimate Stella paper if you are in the Legion, and to get another ultimate enchantment stones, PvP or PvE again. So there are like so many positive things to be in the Legion, whoever takes the altar. So I can strongly recommend you, whatever you are doing, try to be in a new Legion, because if you don't do that, you will definitely fall behind, as I just proved it to you. So what else? How else can you obtain stellar coins? I mean, as I just showed you the different quests. If you go to the different locations, there will be kill quests. You can also go to this location and that location over here. They have elite mobs running around. You can, I would recommend you to do that in a group, because those ones are actually quite tough. Even the ones at the top here, they're quite tough. So you should do that in a group. Okay, so that's basically why you need to do all the stellar thingy. Also, every second or third day, I'm not too sure about the dates yet, because I don't think GameForge has released any notes on that. As I was talking earlier on about the legendary Itium and the ultimate Itium, as soon as the raid for the small keeps is finished, what you can do is you need to there will be like a text appear in the center of the screen, and it will say something like the Guardian whatever will appear in 10 minutes or something like that. As soon as you read that, I would strongly recommend you to go to that location, which is the altar number 10, and at that location you will have like a quest to complete. Depending on whoever belongs this altar to, you either need to kill the Guardian or you need to defend the Guardian. You will automatically be added to to a union over here, so don't worry about that too much. Yeah, now let's get to, so that's PvE is pretty much sorted. As you can see that most of PvP is also included in that one. I mean, everything's kind of related to each other, so that's probably one of the reasons why it's tough to just stick to one topic. So I hope you understood what I was trying to explain to you. I know I've been kind of all over the place, but I hope you got what I was saying. If you didn't, just leave me a comment and I'll try my best to explain it to you again. If you are German and you just don't understand what I'm saying, you can even type it in German and I'll explain it again, or you can just visit my stream. I am usually streaming on this www.twitch.tv /Felo. Just join me, just pop me a question either in English or in German and I'll try my best to explain it. So now the last thing is also to just finalize the whole thing with the legions and all the whole the possibilities and options. I've just shown you the extend weapon, which is the ones over here, the one with the earth symbol basically. And as you can see that they have different locations, so the spawning time for those world bosses is actually 20 to 24 hours, but also as I was just explaining to you, in the different alters there are certain NPCs which have like a random chance to appear. There's one more NPC which can randomly appear. This NPC is only accessible through the guild leader, and the guild leader need to spend Kina to buy a scroll, and this scroll can be used to get those bosses active to a certain time whenever you guys want, and those bosses drop the extend weapons. So I would recommend you to, like, bug your guild leader about that, to do it in a certain time when most of the Legion members have time, so it can be more helpful, and it will just bring you guys a bit further in the whole thing. Okay, so that's probably it. I'm not gonna be going too much onto the crafting. I'm just gonna be saying that Kibarium and all that, you don't really need it anymore. I mean, people are still selling it, buying it, whatever, because they're using it for the painter. I mean, the old recipes will be available still, even though the old items won't be available anymore. But wherever you get the old Kibarium, you will be getting the new ancient alchemy, and you need to get the titania, as I've explained to you how to do that, and you also will be getting the power determination, ancient power determination item, and you will be getting that in the open world. Okay, so I hope I've covered everything. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. If there are more questions, if there is anything you are not clear about, just pop me a question. I really hope that my videos are helpful. I really hope that I am helpful in general. I'm really trying. So if you have, suggest for that, if you have anything you want me to cover, if you have anything you need to tell me, just go ahead and leave it in the comments. Every support is appreciated. I would love to, if you guys just pop over to Twitch to follow me on Twitch, because I'm actually quite active streaming on Twitch. So yeah, I mean, that's basically it. This video's been already long enough. I'm gonna say thank you and take care and have fun in AO. See you soon.